Live from the Sports and Recreation Center on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you to coverage of CSI women's basketball. Tonight, it is the College of Staten Island Dolphins taking on the Medgar Evers College Cougars, and for the Dolphins trying to stay red hot in the CUNY Athletic Conference and trying to, of course, keep their one-game lead atop the standings. Good evening, everybody. I'm David Pizzuto alongside Mike Babuski. And Mike, the Dolphins are rolling into the Sports and Recreation Center red hot. They've won 9 games in a row. They're coming off of a win last night against Drew University, and they are definitely a big favorite here on paper against the Medgar Evers team that comes into this game with a record of 1-19.
Yeah, Dave, and we should start really talking about this CSI women's basketball team. As you mentioned, they've now run 9 games in a row, including a big come-from-behind victory on the road against Drew University last night by a final score of 76-71. And, Dave, what are you going to say about this team? Christina Passatoro has just been on fire and playing great basketball. She's the leading three-point player in the country, and has been averaging over 20 points a game. So she's just really playing such good basketball now, David. She's really turned the corner as a player that started out as the CUNYAC Rookie of the Year and a player that's really gotten better and better in each of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mike, and she has been terrific. She's had 16 straight games with 20-plus points. That's the longest streak in CSI Dolphins history, Mike. And, she got a lot of help last night from a young lady named Samantha Flecker. 27 points, 11 rebounds in that game, Mike, a game which the Dolphins had to come back to win. Mike, the one thing that we should mention on really been.
Look at this Medgar Evers team. You're hoping that they're going to be able to build up the program back up and get a couple more ladies out on the roster and available to play. Alicia Diane coming in averaging over 18 points a game and 11 rebounds. So she's averaging a double-double for the Cougars. And if you're Medgar Evers, that's, a player that hopefully you would be able to build the program around.
Absolutely, Mike. So the Dolphins will look to stay hot. Once again, a record of 17-4 coming in. We got about 5 minutes to go before starting lineups Mike are introduced. So we'll do a step aside. When we come back, we'll have official intros to our starting lineups, and we'll get you ready for opening tip between the Dolphins and the Cougars. It's all coming up next here on CSI Sportsnet. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Doesn't see race. Love is love. This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
And we welcome you back to the Sports and Recreation Center here at the campus of the College of Staten Island. We are 2.5 minutes away from opening tip here between the Dolphins and the visiting Cougars of Medgar Evers. David Pizzuto alongside Mike Baybuski. We will take you through a CSI versus Medgar doubleheader here on CSI Sportsnet. And Mike, the starting lineups have been placed on the board. Let's take a look at both. No big surprises either way.
Okay, Dave. First for the visiting Medgar Evers Cougars, it will be number 10, Chanel Perry. Number 12, Janisa Carrington. Number 15, Naisha Irby. Number 22, Alicia Dudune. And number 35, Kimona Mullins. For the College of Staten Island, Dave, it's going to be the familiar starting five. Number 2, Christina Passatoro. Number 10, Angelique Price. Number 14, Victoria Cray. Number 31, Samantha Flecker. And number 32, Rosa Peronin. Passatoro, Dave, picking up another CUNYAC Player of the Week this week. And it seems to be a weekly occurrence for the last month or so.
Yeah, it's her 4th straight CUNYAC Player of the Week honor, and it's her 5th overall. She's certainly one of those players who will be mentioned as Player of the Year. Mike, Emily Del Rosario will have a lot to say about that over on Lehman. She's one of the nation's best scorers. But Mike, obviously in a game like this, the Dolphins are heavy favorites on paper. They beat Medgar Evers earlier this season by a very one-sided 88-52 mark. So if you're the Dolphins, what do you want to do here in these 40 minutes to continue this win streak and really play crisp basketball?
Well, you know, Dave, the Dolphins are coming off of that big win last night against Drew University, and they're going to continue to try to build on that here tonight. And you know, I have a feeling it might be a little similar to the game Saturday against York College. Medgar Evers coming in a little overmatched against a Dolphin team that's playing very well. But, you know, it's an opportunity for Coach Shanahan to bring out the combinations of players that he wants, look at the players that he wants, and get the team ready for the upcoming 3 remaining games, Dave, because after tonight's game against Medgar Evers, the level of competition in the conference really picks up. It'll be Hunter College this Saturday, and then the Dolphins are going to finish the regular season with Brooklyn College on the road, and then back here for Lehman College. And, you know, like we mentioned, Dave, with the standings as tight as they are, the conference is still completely up for grabs.
All right, Mike, so with this break for the national anthem, we will break as well. When we come back, it's opening tip between the Dolphins and the Cougars. Stay with us. You're watching CSI Women's Basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome. I think we're breathtaking. And here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that brand? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together. Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
You caught the final seconds of the national anthem, and we are just about ready to go here between the Dolphins and the Cougars. Both teams will be introduced. Mike, we already mentioned the starting lineups. Let's also take a deeper look at Medgar Evers as far as their statistics are concerned. You mentioned Alicia Dudene. She's averaging 18.1 points per game and 11.1 rebounds. Mike, she's a player to watch for Medgar Evers. She dropped 30 on the Dolphins the last time they played.
Yeah, you know, she's clearly the most talented player on this Cougar team. And, you know what, she is a senior, so this will, of course, be her last season with the Cougars. But, you know, if you're Medgar Evers, she's the kind of player that you got to look towards and hope will be the foundation of continuing to try to get this program to improve in the future, because although the men's team has performed very well for Medgar Evers, the women have struggled over the last couple of years.
Absolutely. So Medgar Evers comes in, as we mentioned, a record of 1-19 overall, and they are 1-10 in the conference. And Mike, you know, the thing that we should mention, of course, 8 teams do make the conference tournament. But remember, Baruch is ineligible for the conference tournament this year, so they are going to be taken out of the tournament focus. And so the 8 teams that remain in the tournament all make the playoffs. And Medgar Evers right now would be looking at the number 7 seed. The 5, 6, 7, and 8 seeds all have to play in the opening round. Then the 3 and 4 seeds play in the second round, and the top 2 seeds, Mike, advance straight into the semifinals. And that's what makes every one of these games important for the Dolphins, because even though they're sitting atop first place, their position there is very, is very volatile.
Yeah, you know, Dave, it's the kind of playing game that you really want to just avoid. There's no reason to play in it. You've been sitting up on top of the table all year long, and, you know, you've beaten all of the teams that you have remaining on your schedule already. So if you're Tim Shanahan and the Dolphins, you're looking to come out and take care of business here tonight, certainly. But more importantly, you're getting ready to play Hunter College coming up this Saturday at the Sports and Recreation Center.
Yep, and then the Dolphins will play Brooklyn College on the road, and then Lehman in their season finale. And those 2 teams are sitting in second and third place in the standings. Our officials tonight are Leon Barrett, Ronald DePasquale, and Laura Isabel. And as we get said here, the teams will play in their teams will line up in their final huddles before we tip. And Mike, we should mention the Dolphins are in their road anthracite gray uniforms. That's because tonight marks blackout night here at CSI, where we're giving away free black T-shirts to all in attendance. Of course, there's free food for students for today's game, the first 160 to come on board. And, of course, there'll be a $10,000 shot during the men's game. So there's still time, if you're watching at home, to come on out to the Sports and Recreation Center. Part 1 of a 2-part evening tonight. The men play next. So it'll be Perrone to tip off, and Medgar will tip off with Dudene. The tip goes straight up. It is collected. Looked like Medgar Evers might have got a bit of jump ball, so they will re-jump because nobody had possession.
We should mention, Dave, the Dolphins coming in averaging just over 75 points a game, giving up 59, so over a 16-point differential for the Dolphins here this year.
Clean win that time for Victoria Cray. She will attack the basket off the glass, no good. Might have gotten partially blocked on the way up. Possession will stay with the Dolphins. 23 on the shot clock. Cray will do the inbounding right in front of the CSI cheer squad. Pass to Toro, baseline pass to Price, up top to Flecker, down low to Perrone. Pass to Toro, leading the nation in threes, decides to go inside, and a little teardrop layup inside the paint puts the Dolphins up top 2-0.
Dan Christina played all 40 minutes last night in that game against Drew. Dave finishing with 23 points, gets the first basket here tonight.
And we should mention that CSI with a full complement of bench players tonight. Jacqueline Calley back and dressed for the Dolphins. She's missed a number of games due to injury. As Medgar Evers works it around, gaining the paint that time was Carrington. She spills it out to Dudene. Dudene being fronted by Cray. Now 3 on the shot clock. Dudene looking for a shot. She pulls up, does touch the rim. Ball goes pinballing out of play, and it will go the Dolphins' way.
Yeah, that time Craig guarding the taller Dudune on the play did a nice job, and the Dolphins get the possession.
Angelique Price now racing straight in against Dudene. Finds the glass, no good. And another scramble going out of bounds for the rebound. This will be Medgar Evers basketball as the Dolphins 1 for 3 from the floor to start it. All layups. in that game on Saturday, Mike, here. The Dolphins started off pretty slowly in that game before taking a 21-2 lead over York. As we have our first whistle.
And one of the challenges for the Dolphins here tonight, Dave, is to come out and play with some intensity in a game that obviously they're coming in as a very strong favorite.
Yeah, sometimes not easy to do coming off back-to-back games. Passatoro was the player to pick up the foul for the Dolphins. Meanwhile, this is Carrington. Looks at the top of the free throw line. The original shot was missed. The putback missed again by Mullings. And now here comes CSI the other way, looking to run, and getting in the way of that pass was Dudonay. Intended for Flecker on the touchdown pass from Cray.
Yeah, nice defensive play by the Cougars, hustling back and knocking the ball out of bounds.
And now we have a quick turnover, so the Dolphins unable to control the inbounds pass. Dudonay gets the steal. Should mention that Medgar Evers has added a couple of players to their bench. Mike, they now have 8 total players here. They may have arrived late. This marks the first week of classes here in the City University of New York, so perhaps a couple of players coming in straight from class assignments.
Yeah, and that'll certainly help the Cougars' cause here tonight.
So Carrington will do the inbounding. Looks for the top of the arc, and finding it was Perry. Perry dishing down near the baseline. Medgar Evers has to work it back up top. Carrington controls, looking to feed inside to Mullings. Mullings turnaround jumper, no good, and Passatoro collects. Dolphins looking to run. They race down. This is Price left open. Three-pointer, no good, rattling around once again out of bounds. Last touch by Flecker, and it'll be Cougars basketball.
Yeah, Angelique coming in shooting 40% from the field for the Dolphins this year, averaging 12 points a game. Has missed the first couple of shots, so the Dolphins will go back on defense.
The teams are combined 1 for 8 from the floor to start this one, and losing the handle is Dudonay, and Passatoro is there. Cross-court pass to Cray. Cray off the glass, no good. Long rebound, chased down. Perone was in the neighborhood, and it's Cray coming up with it. She's double-teamed baseline, poked out of bounds by Mullings.
Yeah, both teams really struggling with their shooting from the floor. That time, Cray picked the ball up on the floor, dribbled from her knees, and got back up. And now the Dolphins will take the ball out on the side.
And Cray will be the one to do the inbounding. Flashed in for Price, drops off to Flecker for 3. It's short and collected, and a jump ball. Perry will get the rebound on that play.
The possession arrow going to the Cougars, Dave, as the Dolphins struggles from the field continue here. Just 2 points scored in the first 2.5 minutes of this game.
Touchdown pass intercepted by Perone at half court. She dishes inside to Passatoro. Passatoro to Price. Beautiful feed. Price can't finish. And Medgar Evers once again collects. The Dolphins 1 for 7 from the floor. And here's a quick steal by Price. Her pass was interrupted, but Mullings will get called from the foul from behind. So Camonia Mullings, the fellow senior from Queens, New York, picks up Medgar Evers' first foul, and Price will go to the free throw line. First time for either team here from the stripe. 7:16 to go in the first quarter.
And Angelique coming in shooting 59% from the free throw line. She misses the first.
And so the Dolphins 1 for 7 from the floor, and now 0 for 1 from the line. They started out the game against York very similarly. That game was 2-2 about 3.5 minutes in. And Price does split the pair. So the Dolphins are up by a trio. 3-0, 7:15. Another touchdown pass down the sideline. Another interception for Perone. She feeds Passatoro, top of the arc, dish down low to Cray. Cray took too many steps there and will get called for a travel.
Yeah, so that'll be the second Dolphin turnover of the game. Here's Dave, the Cougars with 4 so far.
Sloppy first quarter for both teams here. Medgar Evers 0 for 4 from the floor with 4 turnovers. Camonia Mullings gaining the timeline. Drops off to Carrington. Carrington staying on the arc, passes off to Dudonay. Dudonay backpedaling now with Flecker flashing on her. Now goes to the right, picks up the dribble, the drop off for Carrington. She fumbles the pass, and here's Cray. Cray down low to Passatoro, quick layup off the glass, no good. Dudonay with the rebound.
Yeah, that time Christina got a little too far underneath the basket day before she could control the ball and miss the layup.
Very strong pass by Cray to feed her. Carrington working towards the right. Now she picks up her dribble, needs to find some help. She's buried there, and it's off the fingertips of Mullings and out of play. So Medgar Evers now Mike, with their 6th turnover.
And Dave, the Dolphins aren't coming out and playing very good offense here to start the game, but they haven't let it affect their defense.
Flecker, a wide open 3, and she buries that one. So the Dolphins, with their first field goal since the early stages, now have a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, and Flecker, who's been averaging over 15 points a game, coming off of that big game, Dave. We talked a little bit about it in the pregame show against Drew University last night.
7th turnover for Medgar Evers off that inbounds pass. So possession to the Dolphins. 4 minutes into the first quarter, the Dolphins have the only points at 6-0. Passaturo crossing over on Carrington, gaining the paint, and the layup is good.
Nice move that time by Passatoro. She gets her second basket. She has 4 points.
Beautiful left-handed dribble to gain the paint by Passaturo. Dolphins lead 8-0. Medgar controls. Carrington to Mullings, cross court to Dudonay. She'll have to reset the offense here. Now she goes left. Tries to gain the paint, now stops, pops from the top of the free throw line, no good. Medgar with the offensive board, and the pass intercepted by Victoria Cray. Now here come the Dolphins, 3 against 2. Flecker all the way in.
Yeah, so Flecker exploding to the basket, now has 5, Dave, and the Dolphins have opened this one up early.
And Medgar Evers is going to ask for a full timeout, so we will take a break. The Dolphins with the only points. They're up 10-0, 5:03 to go in the first quarter. Stay with us. You are watching CSI Women's Basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-One physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
And we welcome you back here. Medgar Evers asking for a full timeout as the Dolphins have reeled off 10 straight points to open up this game. 10-0, 4:57 in to the first quarter. Mike, the Dolphins have had a lot of success this season in the first quarter. They're outscoring their opponents by over 160 points in the first quarter. You do the math, that's about 8 points per game. So this is where the Dolphins really seem to do a lot of their damage.
Yeah, and they've really put a lot of defensive pressure on the Cougars here early. Medgar Evers has turned the ball over 8 times in less than half a quarter.
Yep, and that's one of the signature calling cards of this CSI Dolphins team under Tim Shanahan, the ability to constantly pressure the basketball. Medgar Evers controls with Mullings. She looks down low to Perry. Perry opts out. Now they work it around. Dudonay will blaze inside, and she will get one off the glass. Nice kiss off the glass for the Cougars' first points. And now here comes Flecker the other way. Quickly down, she misses the layup. Dudonay was able to get the rebound, and now her pass intercepted by Cray. Cray getting space, drops off to Passaturo inside, and another floating layup goes in.
Yeah, that time Medgar Evers getting a little disorganized off of the rebound, and Passatoro able to lay it right up and in.
12-2 is our score with 4:15 to go in the first quarter. Mullings controls, drops off to Dudonay. Dudonay pleading her case. She wants foul calls against Flecker. Dudonay continues to roll, and she gets body from Flecker. The basket did go in, and we'll see what the call is first. It's going to be on Flecker, and that basket, I believe, will count.
Actually,
maybe not.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a surprise, Dave. If you're going to call the foul, I don't know how I don't know how the basket can't count, but that's the way the officials called it. So it'll be a foul on Flecker. That'll be her first, the team's second, and the Cougars will inbound.
So Medgar with a fresh 30. They look up top. And intercepting it is Price. Price is able to go in all alone. Left-handed layup is good. And the Dolphins up 12.
Yeah, that time the Cougars not doing a good job stepping to the ball, and Angelique taking advantage.
And in trouble again, Medgar nearly turning it over. And that time last touch by the Dolphins. Oh, it's going to be last touch by Medgar. So the Dolphins will get yet another turnover. That's the 11th for the Cougars here in the first 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Quick drop pass on the baseline of Flecker. No layup is no good, and Perrone ends up with her hands on the rebound. Passaturo controls. She dribbles left to right, drops off for Flecker on the baseline. Long two-pointer, no good, and the long rebound into the hands of Carrington. Pardon me, that was Irby with the basket. She drops off to Carrington. Carrington barking out signals, now working against Cray. Gains the lane, puts one up, no good, off the back iron. Gets her own rebound. Cross court, Irby. Fake inside, goes in, and is able to score the short jumper.
Yeah, that was a nice move that time by Irby to take the ball into the lane and put it up with one hand.
And we have a whistle before the shot, it would seem. 3:03 to go first quarter. It will be against number 15, Nyasia Irby. And so the Dolphins will get themselves a fresh 30 seconds here. Top of the arc is Price. Price, the give inside of Passaturo, and she kind of lost her step there and lost her footing. Rolls out of bounds. So the Dolphins with their third turnover of the quarter.
And we should mention they both, Passataro and Flecker, played all 40 minutes in that game last night against Drew.
So Medgar Evers able to work the offense now. First substitution as Ashley Desir has come in, and she puts one up too strong off the glass. And here comes Passaturo the other way. Looking for black jerseys, drops off to Cray. Sidesteps one defender, losing control. On the floor, we have a jump ball called. This will be the Dolphins' possession. So 20 seconds will remain on the shot clock. Price controls. Top of the arc, a long two-pointer is good. Her right foot over the three-point line. So they've got to adjust the score. It's 16-4. As the Dolphins have matched their biggest lead, 12 points. And we're going to have a foul whistled here as Flecker, I believe, is going to be called for her second.
Yeah, that's two quick personals against Samantha, so she'll check out. Nicole and Besse will come in and replace her. As at this point, Dave, Passataro, Price, and Flecker are accounting for all the Dolphin points.
Yep, and that's a familiar scene. Most of the Dolphin starters do go the entire first quarter unless there's foul trouble, and that's what we see here. And Besse comes in, Flecker out, rest of the starters stay put. And now Medgar with a long two-pointer, no good. That shot was taken by Irby. And now here come the Dolphins breaking the other way. It's actually 2 against 3 and a foul whistled against Medgar. That might have been a beneficial foul. Looked like Price might have lost control of the basketball. And it will be called on Nyasia Irby. It'll be her second. Irby, a 5'5" senior from Great Neck, New York. Dolphins will roll in Nihada Bracic. She'll replace Perrone.
And head coach DeRoy Innes from Medgar Evers still letting the official hear it on that one, Dave.
Yeah, did not like that call, and maybe he's got a case. And so Price with a fresh 30 drops off to Passaturo. Passaturo backpedaling as Shanahan wants the Dolphins to work their half-court offense here against the Cougars, up 12, under 2 to play here in the first quarter. Price is going to get called for a travel. Looked like Price had a wide open layup, Mike, from the right side. She wanted the left, but took too many steps getting there.
Yeah, so that'll be the 4th turnover here in the first quarter for the Dolphins.
And so Medgar now will control. They've had problems on their inbound, and they nearly lost another one. Now they do to Passaturo. Her layup is no good. Ball bounces around, last touched by the Dolphins. It's a tough call there, and the crowd lets the officials hear it. Dolphins started this quarter just 1 of 8 from the floor. They're now 7 of 18, so 6 for their last 10. Now another Medgar turnover, and it's going to be CSI the other way, 4 against 2. This is Price, partially blocked shot, falls over to Cray on the rebound. Her pass intercepted. Getting in the way of it was White. And now Desir drops off inside. Layup no good. Dolphins are out of bounds when Passaturo touched it. So possession will remain with Medgar Evers. Mike. Dolphins will get Elena DeMontro into the game, replacing Cray. And Alicia Dudonay will return for Medgar. She will replace Irby.
Yeah, you know, you look at this Medgar Evers offense, Dave, and they just turn the ball over too much, and they're really struggling with their shooting, just 2 of 11 from the field here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and 13 turnovers here in the first 9 minutes. Dudonay, kiss off the glass in the lane is good, and that cuts the lead to 10, 16-6. DeMontro controls, drops off to Passaturo. Quick three-point attempt by Passaturo, no good. And the ball goes out of bounds, last touched by Brocic. And so, possession to Medgar.
And, you know, Dave, with all of the struggles that we've been talking about Medgar Evers with offensively, they're still right in this game, trailing just by 10 inside a minute to go in the first quarter.
And there's the Dolphins shooting just 35% in this quarter. Medgar at 25%, but they've taken 8 less shots. And most of that reason is because of the turnover, and that's their 14th of the quarter. DeMontro inbounding to Passaturo. Dolphins with 14-second differential between shot and game. Price is hacked going up.
Yeah, so Angelique will go to the free throw line, Dave, but, you know, Medgar Evers coming into this game tonight, they're averaging just over 28 turnovers a game, and that's a lot. But at 14 here in the first quarter, they're on a pace for a lot more than that.
Looks like Chanel Perry might have picked up the foul. Price with her second trip at the line. She's now 2 for 3. And the Dolphins are up by 11, 17-6. The Cougars will get in Renee Charles-Warren. Price with her second of 2 free throws upcoming here. It is good. So the Dolphins, once again for the third time, match their biggest lead of the game. It's 18-6. And here's another turnover for Medgar. CSI controls. Passaturo. Down low to Brocic. Dropped off to Price. Price. Mbesi DeMontro for 2, and it's good. Dolphins with their biggest lead, now 14, 20-6. Another errant pass. Intercepted by Brocic. Shot clock off. Passaturo, teardrop jumper in the lane. It's good.
Yeah, and just a moment ago, Dave, this was a 10-point game, but the Dolphins get 6 in a row in about 45 seconds to make it a 16-point game at the end of the first quarter.
And, Mike, all of those points off of Medgar turnovers as we have 2.2 seconds to go here in the first. The Dolphins will go to the free throw line thanks to a loose ball foul called on Medgar. Cindy White, it gets called for the foul. It's her first. Passaturo with her first trip to the line tonight. First is good. Mike, Christina started the season out very poor from the free throw line, but she is now right at the top of the list for the Dolphins, 71% from the line after a pretty tough start for her the first few games of the season.
Yeah, that she's scored 20 points in the last 16 games, Dave.
Touchdown pass is converted, but Medgar cannot get the shot off before the end of the first quarter. So we are through with 10 minutes here in this CUNY matchup between the Dolphins and the Cougars, and CSI takes an 18-point lead into our first intermission. Stay with us. You're watching CSI Women's Basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules. You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet? Shoebox under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it.
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
It will be Medgar Evers basketball here as we get set to start the second quarter of play. Mike, there was a mass exodus in the stands as everybody went to go get their free T-shirt at the end of the first quarter. So it'll be a little quiet here at the Sports and Recreation Center for the next few minutes. Medgar Evers will control. They inbound. Desir will have control. Desir averaging 3.5 points per game this season. The drop off back to Desir. Top of the free throw line for White. White ducks in and puts up a layup, no good, but she was fouled.
Sorry, Dave. While she goes to the free throw line, let's just take a quick look at the stats. We mentioned Medgar Evers turning the ball over 15 times in that first quarter, 3 of 13 from the field, yet to go to the free throw line. For the Dolphins, they turned the ball over 6 times, 9 of 22 from the field, that's 41%, and 5 of 6 from the line.
And 16 of the Dolphins' 24 points by way of Medgar Evers turnovers. So there's your storyline right there for the first quarter. Now a putback off of the 2 missed free throws by Dudene, but she can't get it to go, and here comes CSI the other way. Passaturo splitting defenders, drops off. Now this is DeMontro. DeMontro gets in the way of the rebound and is able to score one for the Dolphins. So the Dolphins will get a fresh shot clock here, and Passaturo receives instructions from her bench.
DeMontro, one of those freshman players for the Dolphins. She's played better here, Dave, in the last few games.
Yeah, only averaging over a point per game, but her ability to ball handle is really what's been called upon. This is Passaturo for a deep 3. No good as it rattles around the rim. Medgar controls. Dudene. Dudene, her pocket almost picked by Passaturo. Medgar continues to keep control. Desir, top of the arc, cross court, over to Carrington. Carrington gains the lane, puts one up, no good. Bracic with the rebound. And CSI once again looking to run. Baseline pass to Price, off the glass and in.
Nice fast break that time by the Dolphins, their 6th fast break points of the afternoon.
CSI with their largest lead, it's 26-6. Desir controls, CSI fronting pressure. They back off, pass to White, intercepted, and here comes Passaturo 2-on-2 the other way. Passaturo, right side, off the glass, no good. And the rebound won by Dudene. Here comes Medgar looking to rush. 4 against 1 the other way. Getting the paint, it's White, and she goes over DeMontro for the layup.
Nice job that time by the Cougars, scoring their first fast break points of the game.
CSI the other way. Bracic opts out of her jumper, passes over to Passaturo. 3-point attempt, no good. DeMontro will get whistled for the foul as she came in guns a-blazing.
Yeah, so Passaturo started out hot. She hit 4 of her first 5 shots, but she's missed the last 3 in a row. And it will be a foul on DeMontro, and it will be Cougar basketball.
Christina Passaturo led the nation in total 3-pointers this season, but she's 0 for 3 from beyond the arc. As we have Desir controlling for Medgar Evers, down 18. This is White, free throw line extended. It's good. 26-10 is our score. Medgar on a mini 4-0 run.
That was a nice offensive play that time by the Cougars.
DeMontro attacking the basket, opts out to Passaturo. Flecker and Crea getting set to come back in for the Dolphins. Waiting by the X. Passaturo around the horn. DeMontro, Bracic, Price, Passaturo. Single digits on the shot clock. Passaturo off the glass and in, and she's fouled.
Nice move by Passaturo, crossing over in the lane, putting it up with the left hand, getting the layup, and drawing the foul.
Extra long horn here. Something got stuck there. Passaturo will take 1 shot. Passaturo averaging 22.5 points per game. She completes the 3-point play. She'll exit the game in favor of Flecker. That was an N1 situation, so it seems we're still at the free throw line. Faked everybody out.
Wasn't sure what was going on there, Dave.
I'm sure Pastora would have taken another shot if they wanted her to, but she was on the bench by that time. Desir controls for Medgar Evers. She gets it inside to Dudonay. She puts it over two defenders. Can't get it to go, though, as here comes Flecker the other way. Flecker racing down the left sideline. Finds Cray. 20 on the shot clock. Cray now sets up the offense. Mbesi thought about a three, opts out. Back to Mbesi via Cray. Passes inside. Brocic to Price. Price short jumper, no good. Long rebound, won by Cray. Dolphins very unselfish with the basketball, Mike, as a couple of players with opportunities to shoot. Now Mbesi does. Line drive shot, no good off the back iron. And it will be Dudonay with the rebound. 6th rebound of the game for Dudonay. Desir controls. Receives the pick, drops off to White. White with a lane underneath. She was fouled from behind by Mbesi. She'll go to the line to shoot two.
Yeah, and White's looked pretty good, Dave, since she's come into the game. She's hit her first 2 shots and grabbed the rebound. So she'll go to the free throw line now to shoot 2 for the Cougars as she comes into the game as a 54% free throw shooter here this year.
Yeah, she did miss the first 2 free throws, the only 2 free throws for Medgar in this game. And after a lengthy delay and Tim Shanahan protesting much, now we'll see. I think that they're contesting who actually fouled White. Flecker contends that she wasn't near the play. Meanwhile, they called it on her, Mike, and that would be her 3rd. So that's the reason. And it's going to be called on Brocic instead. So take 1 foul away from Flecker. She only has 2 now, and Brocic picks up her 1st.
Yeah, and that's a big swing in the game, Dave, because if that was Samantha's 3rd, of course, she would probably be gone until the start of the 3rd quarter.
And so this first of 2 free throws is good. So Medgar makes their first free throw of the game as number 35, Camonia Mullins, will return for Medgar, replaces Desir. 2nd of 2 for White. It's up. It rattles. No good. Too short. Dolphins up by 18, 29-11. Flecker losing control, but right into the hands of Mbesi. Cross court to Brocic, open for a long 2, and it's good.
Yeah, and the Dolphins looking for a little more outside shooting from Brocic here this year as she hits her first shot of the game.
Brocic, a very good 3-point shooter, but she's been tentative to pull the trigger. That time hits the long 2. Carrington to Mullins. Inside feed to White. White over Brocic, layup no good, but Brocic is going to be called for the foul.
Yeah, so that's 2 plays in a row where Brocic has fouled White, and now White will go back to the free throw line. She struggled a little bit from the line, 1 of 4 for the Cougars.
So White's first is nothing but net that time, as the Dolphins will get in their first substitution. Lena Batar. Brocic will come off now after picking up her 2nd personal. 2nd free throw rattles in for White. So she now 3 for 6 from the line. Cuts the Dolphins' lead to 18. Cray barking out signals. Finds Mbesi. She was left open. Opts out. Passes to Cray. Again, it's Mbesi. Inside feed to Flecker. Flecker to Cray. Wide open 3 for Cray. In and out. Long rebound punched away, and it will be Dudonay. Dudonay fronting on Flecker. Off the glass, no good. Flecker with the rebound. She has it stripped and put right back up by Medgar Evers. First shot was, I believe, blocked on the intended shot by Irby, and now a quick foul as Price came up with the ball.
Angelique got clubbed in the head that time, Dave, and it looks like the foul is going to be on Irby, and that's going to be her 3rd personal. So she might have to check out of the game now for the Cougars.
Yeah, so she'll have to come out. So Craig controls here. 31-13, the Dolphins up comfortably. Cray Flecker around the horn, Passaturo for three, no good. She's 0 for 4 from behind the arc. So here comes Medgar the other way. Looking top of the arc to White. White, pass was picked off. Vitar got in the way of that one. And here comes CSI down the other way. And Passaturo off the glass, no good. Flecker offensive rebound. They're already in the third quarter at Lehman College, Mike. We have a scoring update there. Lehman over Baruch, 48-38, with 6.5 to go in the third quarter. Lehman, as we mentioned, in second place. Baruch in fourth place. But, of course, the Bearcats are ineligible for the postseason tournament this season.
Yeah, Dave. Lehman coming in with a record of 10-2, so they're trying to up that to 11. And, you know, Dave, we were taking a little bit of a look at Lehman College before the game, and looks like they've added a couple of new additions to their roster over the intercession.
Yeah, so something definitely to keep our eyes on here as CSI controls with an 18-point lead. Other game in action tonight, a big one in the women's side, is Brooklyn College versus CCNY as Passaturo unleashes her 5th three-point attempt. No good. She's 0 for 5 from the arc.
Yeah, and CCNY's really been improving that women's basketball program, Dave. And, you know, fans will remember they were able to beat the Dolphins in a game last year, and they look to continue to improve here this season.
Put back by White. Goes in, so Medgar cuts. Ooh, the lead to 16 as Flecker got absolutely mauled underneath. She did make the layup, and I think what's most important, Mike, is she was able to hop right back up after that putback. She was absolutely leveled.
She really was, Dave, and it didn't even look like she flinched on the play. She just hit the layup and got right back up and is going to the free throw line. And Flecker already with 7 points in this game here for the Dolphins as they've outscored Lehman College by 18 here so far.
So 35-17 is our score. Flecker looking to complete the three-point play. It's no good off the side of the rim as Mullings gets the rebound, as we see Jacqueline Callie entering the game for the Dolphins. Callie has missed the last 10 games as we have a violation here on Medgar that will give the ball back over to the Dolphins. And Callie, Mike, right before she got hurt, was actually playing very good basketball, really picked up her game, averaging over 6 points per contest. Price missing the baseline jumper, gets her own rebound. The pass to Passaturo, and there's her first three of the game as the Dolphins go up by 21. Medgar Evers once again with trouble getting it out of their zone. Racing to get it over half court. They do. Desir does the honors. 18 on the shot clock. Desir now dribbles in, drops off to Mullings, and Mullings' short jumper in the paint is good. 38-19 is our score. Callie left open for three, drops off to Cray. Cray, Passaturo for three, no good. Passaturo, long rebound, gets her own. Passaturo now 6 of 15 from the floor. Cray for three, no good. Long rebound, won by Medgar Evers. And we have a timeout that will be called by Medgar. It's a 30-second timeout, so we will stay right here. Mike, the Dolphins have doubled up on Medgar 38-19 here in the second.
Yeah, you know, the Dolphins are playing well enough to stay comfortably out of control of this game, Dave, but you know, while we have a minute, why don't we talk about the return of Jackie Callie? You know, Jackie played in the first 10 games of the season for the Dolphins, got hurt in that William Patterson game back in December and hasn't been out on the floor since then. You know, she's a player with a little bit of size for the Dolphins. She's averaging over 6 points a game and nearly 4 rebounds for the Dolphins, and really an important addition to get back in on the team. She'll have an opportunity to get her feet wet here today, and then they'll try to round her into form for the final 3 games of the regular season.
Yeah, and probably more important than even her numbers, Mike, is the fact that over the last 3 or 4 games in that 10-game stretch to start the season, she was really starting to get a lot more minutes on the floor. She's averaging 19 per game. We don't think that she'll get that many tonight as she's nursed back into the rotation here, but down the stretch, she'll be one of those key cogs in the playoff wheel for the Dolphins. We mentioned that Lehman has added some players to their roster, so Mike, it's very important at this stage of the season that teams get healthier and not more injured as we have a turnover here against Medgar.
Yeah, you know, you really want to go into this tournament playing your best basketball. It's enough of a crapshoot as it is, even when you're playing well. But you certainly want to have your players out on the floor and playing well heading into the tournament.
So off the timeout, Medgar Evers turned the ball over. Now let's see what CSI could do the other way. It's Cray with a long two, no good. Rebound won by Medgar. Quick foul on the Dolphins.
Yeah, and, you know, Medgar Evers really playing much better this quarter, Dave. They've cut the turnovers down. They're playing more effective basketball on the offensive end and started to stabilize the game a little bit. But they just struggle so much with their shooting. It's just tough for them to find a way to make up so many points in the game.
Yeah, remember the Dolphins were up at one point 26-6. And since that point, Medgar Evers has outscored the Dolphins 13-12. And a chance here to cut into the lead a little bit further. As we have Carrington at the free throw line. A first shot, nothing but net. Medgar is out rebounding CSI 25-20. Their downfall has been the turnover. The Dolphins are a plus 13 in that category so far. But as Mike mentioned, they've cleaned it up considerably here in the second quarter. As I believe, Mike, they had 16 at the end of the first quarter, and they only have 3 here in the second. So nice job by the Cougars. Lead is 17 for the Dolphins as Perrone nearly loses the handle and now does, as here comes Medgar the other way. It's 4 against 1. Perry, inside give, intercepted by Passaturo. Here comes CSI the other way. Left-handed layup by Passaturo is up and in over White. And that's a big shift in momentum here as Passaturo gains the basket.
Yeah, Passatoro going coast to coast on that play, driving past the taller White for the layup.
Another turnover here from Medgar. Callie dropping off to Passatoro, who has 18 for the Dolphins. This is Price, left open for 3, no good. Long rebound, poked at by Cray, but it goes out of bounds. Last touch by her, and Medgar will have possession. 1:09 remaining here in half.
Yeah, 18 points, Dave, as you mentioned already, for Passatoro, coming into the game averaging 22.5.
Passatoro is 6 of 9 from 2-point range, 1 of 7 from 3-point range, so she's been doing a nice job attacking the basket tonight. And we have a quick whistle against Passatoro. So with 1 second coming off the clock, it'll be Medgar's turn to shoot free throws.
And that's going to be the second foul of the game for Passatoro. So let's see if she gets a little time off here. I see Mbese over by the scorer's table. Let's see if she's going to replace Passatoro, and she will.
Perry makes the first of her 2 free throws as Dudene returns for Medgar, replacing Desir. 18 points is the lead by the Dolphins. Second of 2 free throws, no good, and the rebound goes to Dudene. Dudene gives over to Perry, back to Dudene, sidesteps Perrone, off the glass, no good, long rebound, won by Dudene. Dudene stops, short jumper, paint, no good. Perrone with the rebound, and now we got bodies flying everywhere. Perrone was able to get it, drops off to Cray. Cray streaking past 2 defenders, gains the offensive zone. 25-second differential between game and shot clock. Shot clock's at 15. Jackie Callie for 3, it's good.
So that's Callie's first basket since she's returned, Dave. She was a 31% three-point shooter coming into today's game.
So welcome back to the hardwood, Jackie Callie. Another turnover. The shot clock is off, and the Dolphins with a big chance to blow the lead open. They're up by 21 here in the first half. Dolphins scored a 32-point win over Medgar the first time these 2 teams played. Price, Cray for 3, no good. Air ball goes out of bounds with 2.7 remaining. So Medgar may have an attempt here for a last heave. Dolphins decide to play tight defense here. The give to Desir. Desir will let one rip. It's way short. And so the Dolphins, Mike, will take a 21-point lead into the locker room. We are through 20 minutes. It's the Dolphins 43 and Medgar Evers 22.
Yeah, you know, Dave, a good first half for the CSI Dolphins. They've done enough to really take control of this game, scoring 24 points in the first quarter, 19 in the second, led by 18 points by Passatoro, 9 for Angelique Price, and, you know, Dolphins comfortably go into halftime with this 21-point lead.
All right, so Mike and I will step aside here. We are at halftime. When we come back, we'll break down the stats. Get you ready for half number 2. It's the first game of a CSI versus Medgar Evers doubleheader. The Dolphins 43, and the Cougars 22. Stay with us. You are watching CSI Basketball right here live on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably put the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Mom.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course.
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat.
Ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent. We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Na 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 na. I love you so. I love you. I love you. La 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 la. La 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 la.
We're here.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I've just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to the Sports and Recreation Center here, the campus of the College of Staten Island, where the Dolphins are sitting comfortably ahead, 43-22 over the Medgar Evers College Cougars. Mike, the Dolphins on paper were the big heavy favorites coming in, and after 20 minutes, much like we expected, the Dolphins got themselves a big lead early, and they've been able to coast the rest of the way. Medgar Evers playing better in the second quarter, but not good enough to really overcome that big deficit.
Yeah, you know, Dave, with just about a minute or so remaining in the first quarter, Medgar had the game down to about 10 points, but the Dolphins went on a big run at the end of the first quarter. And, you know, as you mentioned, although Medgar played much better in the second quarter, only being outscored by 3 by the Dolphins in that quarter, the Dolphins were able to build on that 18-point lead and take it into 21 points at halftime. Dolphins being led in scoring once again by Christina Pastoro. She's already scored 18 points as she looks to continue her consecutive game streak of at least 20 points per game.
Yeah, and you can see the stats on your screen, Mike. The Dolphins not shooting particularly well, only 37% for the game, 17 of 46. They've taken, though, 20 more shots than Medgar Evers has. They're shooting at 31%. Just about. Medgar hasn't taken any threes. The Dolphins have been struggling from behind the arc as well, just 3 of 14. Both teams doing what they need to do at the free throw line. But, Mike, really it's just been the Dolphins getting up many, many more shots, and that's really a direct reflection on the fact that the Dolphins have forced 23 first-half Cougars turnovers.
Yeah, and, you know, Dave, the Dolphins have been credited officially with 16 steals in this game already. 6 steals for Christina Pastoro, 3 apiece for Angelique Price and Victoria Cray. So Dolphins playing well defensively, really getting up, pressing Medgar Evers. Evers is having problems distributing the basketball, and they've turned the ball over. But they did do a little bit of a better job in the second quarter, especially right before the end of the quarter, in reducing those turnovers. But again, they put themselves in such a hole, Dave. And, you know, this is a Cougar team that averages less than 48 points a game, so they struggle with their scoring to begin with. So they put themselves really behind the 8 ball here heading into the third quarter.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, if you remember, scored the first 10 points of this game, so they obviously have never trailed, and they take a 21-point lead here going into the second half. The other, of course, notable statistic is that Medgar Evers is out-rebounding the Dolphins 29-21. So without that going for them, the score, of course, could be a lot worse. You know, Mike, we mentioned it in the opening. We might as well go back to it. The Dolphins, of course, are trying to keep pace with Lehman College in the standings. Lehman is 1 game behind the Dolphins, and right now at Lehman College, Lehman has got themselves a 69-57 lead over Baruch. That score hasn't changed in about 3 or 4 minutes, but Lehman at home up by 12 against Baruch sure seem like they're in prime position to finish that one strong. And the Dolphins, of course, will look to keep pace with them. They, if Lehman should hold on and win that, they would be 11-2. The Dolphins would be 12-1 after tonight. And then, of course, you have Brooklyn College. They're hosting CCNY. No scoring updates from there, as they do not carry live stats. But soon enough, we'll find out how that one went. And Mike, we could be heading down a very, very exciting home stretch of basketball these next 10 days or so.
Yeah, and, you know, one of the exciting things that's taking place, Dave, is this scoring race between Emily Del Rosario of Lehman College and Christina Pastoro for the CUNYAC scoring title. And Del Rosario came into today's game averaging a little more than a point per game, more than Pasatoro, and she has 27 so far in the game against Baruch College at Lehman. Pasatoro so far with 18 here for the Dolphins.
Yeah, so very good point. As we are getting set to start the third quarter here. The clock had stopped for a little bit, but now it will be ready to go.
And, you know, Dave, we haven't really talked much about it yet, but in addition to the women's team winning 9 games in a row, so have the men, and they'll be up next against Medgar Evers about 25 minutes or so after the end of this game. And the men with a chance here tonight, Dave, to clinch the #1 regular season championship in the CUNYAC Conference.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was, of course, we'll have that one for you live as we get going here in the second half of this one between the Dolphins and Medgar Evers. And in the first pass of the half is interrupted by the Cougars. Dolphins up by 21 points here. Pasatoro controls.
And Pasatoro leading the Dolphins in scoring, continuing to play well. Good all-around basketball for the Dolphins. In addition to leading the team in scoring, she's also second on the team in rebounds and is, you know, shooting better and better from the line. Dave, getting her free throw shooting percentage up to 72%.
No question about it here as Craig controls off of the fresh 30-second clock. Around the horn, Price, Perrone, Pasatoro. Dolphins taking their time, obviously. No rush. Flecker, baseline 3. It's good.
Yeah, good start for Flecker to start the second half here for the Dolphins, coming off of that big game against Drew yesterday, and you know, really an important scorer for the Dolphins, Dave, as they get head down the stretch and start to play better CUNYAC competition.
So Medgar now with their first possession down the floor. That shot was blocked, I believe, by Flecker on the would-be shot by Janisha Carrington. And so Medgar Evers will continue to have possession here. 1:02 into the third quarter. 15 on the shot clock. Dudonay controlling for Medgar Evers. Crossover dribble. Now she stops it. Passes up to Perry. Perry off the side of the rim. No good. Flecker controls. The give to Pasatoro. Pasatoro opting out to Cray. Cray to Price. Open 3. No good. And long rebound won by Price, and now she gets tangled up. I believe that was with Carrington. And if that's on her, that should be her third. And it will be. So third foul on Carrington, who's picked up 2 quick ones here in the second half. CSI controls now. Baseline Pasatoro. The pass over to Price. Top of the arc, Flecker for 3. High arcing 3 is good for Samantha Flecker.
Yeah, so Flecker starting to heat up from the three-point line. She's now 3 of 4 and has 13 for the Dolphins.
Yeah, so the Dolphins, who struggled from the three-point line in the first half. Pasatoro connecting. For the second time, this is Carrington. Inside the paint, blocked by Perrone, into the waiting hands of Perry, and she's able to get the short jumper in the lane. Dolphins up by 25. This is Cray in for Flecker. Flecker baseline 3, no good. Long rebound won by Dudonay. Dudonay pocket pick by Cray. Turnover for Medgar Evers. Their first of the half, 24th of the game. Pasatoro controls. Barking out the offensive signals. This is Cray. Cray working against Perry. Drives in, fouled was Cray. It will be against Perry. And for Perry, that's her second.
Yeah, so 3 quick team fouls for Medgar Evers here in the third quarter. And, you know, Dave, the Dolphins with a 25-point lead, you could see immediately that they're probably going to run shot clock on almost every possession. I'd be surprised if they take many shots other than fast breaks before 15 seconds on the shot clock.
And as you say that, Pasatoro puts up a baseline 3, no good, but the Dolphins get the rebound. And the Dolphins will have another possession out of this. Price, her shot blocked. Underneath, though, is Perrone. Perrone's put back, no good. She travels. And Mike, if time of possession were a statistic in basketball, Dolphins would have just about 90% of it here in the second half. We're only 2 minutes and 50 seconds into the third, but the Dolphins have been dominating possessions and shots as that pass goes errant.
And, you know, it's a struggle for the Cougars, Dave. Already 3 turnovers here in the second half.
Yeah, and the Dolphins have now taken 24 more shots than Medgar Evers. Medgar has taken 29 total. Dolphins work it around the horn. This is Passatoro left open for 3. No good. Offensive rebound, Flecker. Dolphins doing a good job in this half of rebounding the basketball. This is Flecker for 3. It's good.
Third three-pointer of Flecker for this half. All of a sudden, she has 16 for the Dolphins.
And she's 4 of 6 from the three-point line. She's 2 of 5 everywhere else. Jump ball. That possession will go to the Cougars. As Mike mentioned, Flecker now 16 points to go with 5 rebounds.
Dolphins outscoring the Cougars 9-2 here in the third quarter to really blow this one open.
Flecker outscoring the Cougars 9-2, Mike, as she has all 9 points. Whistle. And not sure what the call was there. Oh, 10-second violation as Medgar could not get the ball across.
Yeah, and that time just a little lack of focus by the Cougars, Dave, and the Cougar bench. You don't want to leave your player hanging. Let her know that you're running out of time to get the ball over the midcourt line.
Medgar had 16 turnovers in the first quarter. They had 4 in the second. They now already have 3 here in the third. So a little bit of regression here for the Cougars. Dudonay getting past Perrone, driving the lane. Nice move by Dudonay off the glass. Layup is good.
Yeah, and that's the kind of offense you're looking for if you're the Cougars.
And that pass tipped, but won back by the Dolphins. Price cross court to Flecker. Short baseline jumper, no good. And Perry gets the rebound. Perry gives over to Desir. Desir gaining the timeline. Poked at by Perrone. Desir continues to move. Inside the paint, drops off Dudonay. Dudonay gains the paint, got tied up with Perrone, but Perrone's going to get called for the foul. Too much body by Rosa Perrone on Alicia Dudonay.
Yeah, and it's going to be a 2-shot foul as Rosa will pick up her first foul of the afternoon, and for the Dolphins, their first team foul here in the third quarter.
Dudonay will go to the line for the very first time tonight. She has gotten to the line more than any other Medgar Evers player, and she's shooting 61% when she gets there. 109 of 178 this season, so certainly a force at the free throw line. She makes the first. Cuts the Dolphins' lead to 25, 52-27. Over at Lehman College, Lehman with an 8-point lead over Baruch. Actually, that just went final, so Lehman stays now a half game behind the Dolphins. Dolphins will look to keep pace after the Lehman win. This is Cray ducking inside, puts one off the glass, no good. Another offensive rebound for Flecker.
And, of course, Lehman looking to defend their CUNYAC championship, coming off of a big win against Baruch to remain 1 game behind the Dolphins.
Dolphins continue to work the ball around. Cray now left open for 3. No good. Offensive rebound. Price drops off to Flecker. Flecker up top to Passatoro. Instead of shooting the 3, she backpedals. Perrone inside, off of her leg and onto the waiting hands of Mullings. And here comes Medgar the other way. This is Perry and blocked by Angelique Price.
Nice job defensively by Price, getting back defensively. And Dolphins doing a pretty good job, Dave, playing with enough intensity, coming off of that big non-conference win last night and taking control of this game early and cruising so far here midway through the third quarter.
And they've awarded this ball to the Dolphins, Mike. At least that's where Passatoro is setting up, but that one was definitely blocked cleanly by Price and out of play, but now they're saying it might have gotten, no. They will give it to Medgar Evers. So after a little conference, it will be Cougars basketball.
No, the officials got it right, and that's really what you're looking for.
And meanwhile, the officials are not even ready. They were still kind of huddled up.
So I think they're getting it straightened out. Now, Dave, and the
Yep.
Cougars will just get to inbound the basketball.
And now perhaps they might call a jump ball here, Mike. I see one referee maybe pointing at a jump ball situation because there's just dueling possessions. But, Mike, there's no question. Angelique Price with the clean block and went out of bounds. It's Medgar Evers basketball.
Yeah, that's what it looked like from here, certainly. But there's certainly some discussion about it out on the floor.
We have ground to a halt here at the Sports and Recreation Center. 52-28, the Dolphins with the lead. 4:42 remaining. Possession to Medgar Evers, and possession arrow will stay with Medgar Evers. No jump ball on that play. Inside give, turnaround, layup attempt, no good by Dudonay. Long rebound, won by Dudonay. Whistle blows, travel, Dudonay.
Yeah, and Dave, if Tim Shanahan has one concern coming off of the game here tonight, it might be the way the Dolphins have been rebounding the basketball. Medgar Evers doing a good job. They have some size, and they put pressure on the Dolphins rebounding.
The Dolphins have out-rebounded Medgar in this half 8-5, but just saw a couple there for the Cougars. 10 seconds left on the shot clock for the Dolphins. That ball pings around. Jump ball. It will be Medgar Evers basketball, as tying up Perone was Cindy White, who's played well in this one. And again, CSI lining up for the basketball, but this will be Medgar Evers' possession. Now we have another conference here.
It's been a little bit of a herky-jerky third quarter, Dave. Not much of a flow going here, and now it looks like the Dolphins are going to get to inbound the basketball.
It's unbelievable because the referee specifically went over to the scorer's table to give possession to Medgar that last time, and specifically changed the arrow so that it would point in Medgar's direction. And after that last jump ball, they gave it back over to CSI. So
Yeah.
I don't think everybody's confused here.
Yeah, so the Dolphins, though, turn the ball right back over. That's their fourth turnover here in the third quarter.
Yeah, in any event, Medgar decides to attack, foul on Perone against Dudonay, so she will go to the free throw line. And for Perone, that'll be her second. For the Dolphins, it's their second personal of the third.
And, that looked like a pretty decent defensive play that time by Perone, Dave, for the Dolphins. She just put her hand straight up, and it looked like she got a lot of ball, but, the official gave her the foul, and going to have a substitution here for the Dolphins as Jackie Callie makes her first appearance here in the second half.
She will replace Perone. 4:01 remaining in the third. Medgar looking to bite into the CSI lead. They've cut it to 23. Flecker, touchdown pass to Passatoro. She attacks the basket and now gets caught up. That should be a jump ball. Travel instead.
Yeah, so the Dolphins playing a little bit sloppy here in the third quarter, Dave. They've outscored Medgar Evers 9-7 here, but I'm sure Coach Shanahan looking for a little crisper offensive play.
Ball goes out of bounds. Last touched off the leg of Flecker, so Medgar Evers will continue to have possession. 25 on the shot clock.
And we should mention, Dave, that Samantha Flecker is 3 for 3 from the three-point line here in the third quarter. The remainder of the Dolphin team is 0 for 9.
Wow, good point. Oh, nice crossover dribble move by Desir. Drops off to White. White's layup, no good. Offensive rebound by Mullings, no good. Mullings gets another rebound. Short jumper off the glass and in.
Yeah, a couple of second chance opportunities that time for the Cougars.
CSI, Passatoro attacks, now retreats. Attacks again, drops off to Cray. Passatoro. Both teams with 9 points here in the third quarter. Passatoro giving it a ride. Long distance three, halfway down. No good. Callie with the rebound. She was interfered with by Perry. And so for Perry, that'll be her third, I believe.
Yeah, it will be. It will be, Dave. And, Perry hit Callie in the head that time to draw the foul. And, we should mention Staten Island just outscoring Medgar Evers 13-10 in second chance points. The Dolphins with a 21-point lead, and they've outscored Medgar Evers 28-7 off of turnovers. That's the 21-point difference right there.
Inside give, Passatoro, off balance layup, no good. Dolphins continue to struggle from the floor here in the third quarter. And off the glass, Dudonay, no good. Cray wants to race out with it off the rebound. Here comes Cray, left-handed dribble. Passatoro for three, it's good.
So Passatoro hits her second three-pointer on 11 attempts. Her first points of the second half, she has 21.
First points for the Dolphins by someone other than Samantha Flecker. That's Dudonay working against Flecker. Pass intercepted by Cray. Here comes Passatoro. Uncontested layup is good.
So 5 quick ones by Passatoro. She now has 23 as the Dolphins open the lead back to 26.
For Passatoro, her 17th straight game with 20 or more points. That's a CSI record. Inside give, and no good by White. So the rebound won by Passatoro. She now has 7 rebounds. Passatoro backpedaling, gives off to Price. Cross court to Cray. Cray thought about a jumper, cuts in. Flecker, Passatoro for three, no good. Picked by Cray. Cray, baseline feeder to Flecker, interrupted. DeMontro will return for the Dolphins, as will Carrington for Medgar Evers.
Dave, the Dolphins have now been credited officially with 19 steals in the game. Victoria Cray, who goes to the bench, tied for the team lead with 6 off of that last steal.
Yep, and there's a turnover there. DeMontro tried to feed it into Flecker. 57-31, Dolphins with the lead. We're approaching a minute and a half remaining in the third quarter. White driving in. She's going to get the benefits of the foul called against Jackie Callie. So going to the line will be Cindy White.
Yeah, it was a close call, Dave. I thought Jackie was pretty close to getting into position, but just got there a little late. So she draws a little contact, hits the floor for the first time, and draws the personal foul.
Yep, Shanahan happy to see her bounce right back up. First free throw for White is good. White now with 7 points to go with her team leading 10 rebounds tonight. In case you joined us late, the Dolphins held an 18-point lead after the first quarter, 24-6, and since then really have been just keeping pace with Medgar, or Medgar has been doing the same. Second free throw was good as well for White, so she now has 8. DeMontro, right side, Passatoro to Callie. Inside give to Flecker, off balance, has to retreat the basketball. Bracic was left open. Now here's Passatoro, 7 on the shot clock. Someone needs to shoot for the Dolphins. That ball travels out of bounds. It'll be still CSI basketball with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Substitution for Medgar Evers. Renee Charles Warren returns. DeMontro given some more space. 3 on the shot clock for the Dolphins. They'll need to show for a shot. Pass almost intercepted. Passatoro puts one up at the buzzer, no good. And the rebound by Medgar. Passatoro now 2 of 12 from behind the arc. Make that 2 of 13. Not one of her finest efforts from behind the arc, as putting in the layup is Irby, who's been quiet since the early stages of the second. 11-second differential. This is Flecker for 3, missed it badly. And here comes Irby the other way by herself. And Passatoro gets the block on that one. That's her first block of the game.
So a 3.5-second differential on the shot clock to the game clock as the Cougars will inbound the basketball.
So Medgar can wind this one down almost to the end, but we'll see what they decide to do. Inside give down low, off the glass, in, and it counts. And going to the line will be Cindy White.
Yeah, and you know, with that basket, Dave, Medgar Evers has outscored the Dolphins here in this third quarter, 15-14. And if you take out the first quarter, it's just a 33.
Frustrating game for the Dolphins shooting. They've
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999. One-on-one has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-one has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-one is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-one physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
Welcome back here to the Sports and Recreation Center. The Dolphins up by 21 here to start the final 10 minutes of this one. It's the fourth quarter. Dolphins ahead. Medgar will control the opening possession here of the fourth. As Mike mentioned, they have kept pace with the Dolphins. As we have a layup, and that one is in by Carrington. So the lead cut to 19. Cray left open, underneath, left-handed layup is good. Nice feeder that time from Flecker.
Yeah, nice answer that time by the Dolphins as Medgar cut the lead down under 20. Cray gets the layup to make it a 21-point game.
Foul is whistled against the Dolphins. It'll be on Victoria Cray, so that'll be her first personal. And there's an errant pass that gets intercepted by Flecker. Flecker racing in right side, has to backpedal, and Bessie. Bracic for three. It rattles around, no good. And Medgar will collect the rebound with Mullings. Mullings to Dudonay. Dudonay underneath. That pass skips away from, I believe it was intended for Irby, and CSI got it. Quick foul by Medgar.
Yeah, so as been the case all night long, Dave, the Cougars really hurting themselves with the turnovers.
It was Mullings with the foul, and here comes CSI the other way. Bracic cross court, and Bessie pass to Turo. 20 on the shot clock. Dolphins in no hurry. They're up by 21. Cray around the horn, now inside to Flecker. 5 on the shot clock. Passaturo with the shot clock winding down. No good. Offensive rebound for the Dolphins.
Nice offensive rebound. That'll allow the Dolphins to run more shot clock here in the fourth quarter.
Cray looking inside. Flecker on the baseline. Back up top to Cray. Left-handed dribble, and she's going to get interfered with Nyesha Irby. And for Irby, that'll be her fourth personal. So thin on numbers as it is. Irby's now in foul trouble. Desir will come in to replace her.
Yeah, that time Irby just a little too physical on the play. Got called for her fourth.
Earlier tonight, Lehman defeated Baruch 74-66. 2 other CUNY games in action as we have a jump shot miss there, and Carrington with the rebound. Brooklyn home to City CCNY. No update there yet. And we have York College playing host to Hunter. No score there yet as well. Cray in, and the foul. It'll get called on Carrington, and that'll be her fourth personal.
Yeah, Dave, and Hunter going in is a very strong favorite against York College. That game is underway, but we don't have a scoring update for you. And Brooklyn College with a very big game as they want to keep pace and give themselves an opportunity to still get up to the top of the table as they're playing a tough CCNY team.
So Cray completes the three-point play. Hunter is up on York 28-19 at the half. And here we have a missed shot by White, collected by Cray. She's going to go coast to coast, stops at the free throw line. Jumper no good. Rebound by Dudonay as Samantha Flecker got up very slowly, Mike, and she's still down.
Yeah, and that's the last thing that the Dolphins need, Dave, here in this fourth quarter of the game. And she's holding on to her back and trying to get up on the floor. And, you know, boy, Dave, that's a player that the Dolphins absolutely cannot afford to lose. She's a very tough player, very tough defensively. And she's going to check out of the game now, and Angelique Price is going to check in.
And, Mike, that might be the sure signal to the CSI bench that up by 24 with 7 minutes to play, it's time to get players like Jackie Callie, Rosa Perone, Lena Batar, and Elena DeMontro some extended minutes. And they'll start with putting Angelique Price in the game to replace Flecker. But You know, with three of the probably the most important games on the schedule coming up within the next 4 or 5 days, it's something the Dolphins do have to keep in mind. Remember, this is the second of a back-to-back.
Yeah, so Flecker over on the trainer's table. I doubt we'll see her back again here tonight, Dave. So, you know, the good news for the Dolphins is they are off until Saturday.
That is correct. Brocic, inside give to Price. It bounced around a bit. "20 seconds on the shot clock here as Cray looks top of the arc to Passaturo. 7.5 to go in regulation. Dolphins just looking to ride this one out. They're up 24 here on Medgar. Not one of their finest shooting nights. Passaturo straight ahead, no good. Passaturo now 2 for 15 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and she came in shooting 42%, Dave, from the three-point line.
Yeah, but that will go down after this game. And there's a misplay by Medgar Evers, and for Medgar, that is their 33rd turnover of the game.
Yeah, the turnover's really preventing Medgar Evers from being competitive in this game, as they've turned it over 33 times compared to just 12 for the Dolphins.
Yeah, you know, and if you're Medgar, you go back home to Brooklyn saying, hey, look, if we can clean that part of our game up, as Brocic hits a three, so a nice response for the Dolphins to go up by 30, but you go back to Medgar and you say, well, this is an opportunity for us to have been more competitive in this game if we only could have held on to the ball.
Yeah,
and there's another turnover. Sorry, Mike.
You know, and the thing that you like about the Cougar team is they are much more athletic, a much better basketball team than they've been in the last year or two.
Yep, and of course, personnel is something that they lack as well, Mike, with only 8 players dressed here tonight. We saw York struggle with numbers. They only brought 5 players to the game here on Saturday, as we have a timeout whistled. We'll see if it's a full or a 30. It will be a full timeout, so we will step away. When we come back, more CSI basketball action. It's 67-40 in favor of CSI. Stay with us.
We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome, I think we're breathtaking, and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together. Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
Dolphins in control of this one, 67-40 over Medgar Evers College. Game 1 of a CSI versus Medgar Evers doubleheader. CSI men will put their perfect CUNY record on the line against Medgar Evers coming up next after this one, but we still got 6 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this one as Dudonay puts one off the glass, no good. Mullings with the rebound, and after fighting Cray for it, puts the layup in. That basket, I don't believe, will count. Referees will confer. Well, we need a call first.
Yeah, we're still waiting, Dave.
It'll be against Cray, the foul on the Dolphins. Dolphins' third of the quarter, I should say. We'll give Medgar a fresh 30. Dudonay with Price against her, opts out, top of the arc to Desir. Desir, right-handed dribble. Cray fronting Desir. Desir driving inside, finding that was Perry. Missed layup, Mullings with the putback. And this is Price the other way now for the Dolphins as we approach 5.5 to play.
And that was the 50th rebound of the game for the Cougars, Dave. They've out-rebounded the Dolphins 50-36.
Oh, and Craig got hammered hard. Ball out of bounds. No call on the play.
And so the Dolphins will remain with the basketball. 15 to shoot, 5:29 remaining. Dolphins in control of this one, leading by 25.
Passatoro here. 10 seconds on the shot clock. With Cray. Cray thought about a three. Drives inside, puts one up. She's fouled. And she will go to the free throw line. Victoria Cray, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists in the game, and 6 steals.
And that foul's going to be called on Mullings, and that will be her third and the team's fourth. I thought that might have been a pretty good defensive play by the Cougars on that play, Dave, but Craig gets the benefit of the foul and will go to the line to shoot 2 for the Dolphins.
Tough shooting night for Craig, just 3 of 13 from the floor, but 1 for 1 from the free throw line, and she makes that one count. Dolphins are up 27, 69-42. They've outscored Medgar 9-4 here in the quarter. Second free throw, in and out. And it will be Dudonay with possession. Dudonay, foul against Price, who tried to catch up to the play, who lost Dudonay. For Price, that'll be her first personal.
And not much of a foul that time by Angelique, just getting called from the reach in from behind. So that will be her first foul, Dave, as you mentioned.
So Dudonay controls. Medgar with a fresh 30. Desir thought about a three. Intercepted pass. Bracic was there. Cray to Passaturo. And she once again will backpedal to get the CSI half-court offense going. Dolphins are 8 for 31 from three-point range tonight. Medgar has not attempted a three-point shot. Cray for 3, no good. Mullings with the rebound. Intercepted by Cray. Her 7th steal of the game. And Bessie not even guarded at the three-point line. Now finally they catch up. Whistle. And we have a foul here on 12. It's Carrington. That'll be her 4th.
Yeah, and that'll be the 5th foul, Dave. So that'll send Price to the free throw line shooting to shoot 2. And I'm kind of trying to keep an eye out on Samantha Flecker out of the corner of my eye. And she's been able to get up and stretch out a little bit, but still does appear to be in a little bit of discomfort.
Yeah, so the good news, as Mike mentioned, the Dolphins are idle now until Saturday when they will host Hunter College. Special start time, the Dolphins women will play at 3, the men will play at 1. That, Mike, will be to accommodate Victoria Cray, who will be participating in the CUNY Swimming Championships in the morning. And then we'll get in a car, probably with her parent, with her mom and her family, and we'll jet right to the Sports and Recreation Center, where she'll play a 3 o'clock game against Hunter College.
Yeah,
a big one.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Dave, and that's a real big game for the Dolphins.
This is Cray now, 2 against 2 the other way. Cray takes it herself. Beautiful layup that time by Victoria Cray.
And, you know, Hunter's been able to nudge themselves over 500, Dave, and with a win today, they would go to 8-6.
Men will play at 1 o'clock against Hunter. Dolphins are hoping that as far as the CUNY standings are concerned, that game is meaningless. They will have a chance to clinch the number 1 seed tonight against Medgar Evers. That game coming up at 7:30 as we have a substitution whistle here as DeMontro and Vaseja Watson will come in, replacing Cray and Angelique Price, who you'd like to think are done for the evening.
Yeah, I suspect they will be, Dave.
Eight seconds on the shot clock for Medgar to get a shot off. It's Mullings around the horn. Desir. And losing control. She needs to shoot. It'll be a shot clock violation. So for Medgar Evers, that'll be their 37th turnover of the game. And the Dolphins will have possession. Jackie Callie's getting set to return for the Dolphins. A substitution timeout is called by the Dolphins, and it will be to replace Pasaturo. Final line on Christina, Mike, 23 points on what was a really tough shooting night as well. 7 rebounds, 6 assists, a block, and 8 steals.
Yeah, so
for the junior. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, so the junior putting up some decent numbers here today. She exceeds her scoring average. Del Rosario scored 27 in the game against Baruch for Lehman College, so she'll remain the #1 scorer in the conference, and Pasatoro will be second in scoring.
Nicole Mbesi gives the Dolphins a 30-point lead on that layup. It is their largest of the game for the Dolphins, as they have now outscored Medgar Evers 13-4 in this quarter. Dolphins, 38 of their 72 points off of Medgar Evers turnovers. They lead in that department 38-9. And in case you joined us late or not at all until now, the Dolphins, the story of this one, they've gotten off 30 more shots than Medgar. Medgar with 37 turnovers. The Dolphins did not shoot the ball well tonight, just 35%, but enough for a 30-point lead.
Yeah, Dave, and the Dolphins have only allowed 59 points a game, and for the 9th time in the last 10 games, they'll allow the opponents under 70 points. The only time they didn't was in last night's win against Drew, who scored 71.
So DeMontro now controls, gains the paint, kicks out to Bracic. Bracic up top. Vaseja Watson for 3, no good. And Bracic with the offensive rebound, she has it poked away from her. Out of bounds once again. CSI will retain possession as we have a substitution here as Renee Charles Warren returns. DeMontro with 27 on the shot clock. 2:18 to go in regulation. Intercepted. The pass was tipped by Irby, collected by Medgar. Dolphins with their 13th turnover. That was the first 3-point attempt for the Dolphins by Carrington. For the Cougars by Carrington. Ball goes out of bounds. 2:05 to play. Not a terrific crowd here at the Sports and Recreation Center, but I'm sure most of them eagerly anticipating the main event tonight, which will be the men of Medgar taking on CSI. Mike Babuski will bring you the play-by-play. I'll join him.
And, you know, the one thing about the men's team for Medgar Evers, you know they're going to have some athletes on that team, Dave. And, you know, we're looking forward to an exciting second game here tonight as the Dolphins look to continue their undefeated record in the CUNYAC Conference and clinch the regular season title with still 3 games to play after tonight.
And, Mike, you certainly don't want to put the evil eye on the Dolphins, but remember last year the Dolphins had Medgar Evers at home in this blackout game. The Dolphins were really playing well, and then Medgar came in here and won on the last-second shot, and that kind of derailed the Dolphins a little bit for the rest of the season. The Dolphins never kind of got that swagger back, and they had a semifinal exit after gaining one of the top seeds. So Dolphins are looking to avoid that Medgar Evers trap that bit them last season.
Yeah, David, it's hard to believe you got to go back to the 2012-2013 season since the last CUNYAC championship for the Dolphins. But, you know, they've come out and they've had a big turnover on this team from last year, and they've come out and really played well, Dave. And, you know, I don't know anybody who thought they would be undefeated going into this regular season.
No, I don't think many of the CSI players thought that they'd be undefeated going into this season. Of course, there's a lot of people that were using the word rebuilding around the team, especially with the loss of Will Fonseca, but Dolphins have really stayed the course and have been very consistent in a season that has seen a lot of inconsistency from a lot of the other schools. Dolphins have really played well, and when you think about the start that they had, Mike, the Dolphins really didn't come out of the gate well at all. And they've been really able to figure things out. And that's typical of a Tony Petoza coach team. The Dolphins, if you remember, started the season just 1-3 and 2-4. And they've just been dynamite ever since. They'll look for their 10th in a row tonight.
You know, and even in those games, Dave, they were playing some of the top teams in the country, and they were able to go into halftime with leads, I think, in every one of those games, Dave.
Yeah, with the exception of NJCU, a game that they lost by 26. The Dolphins were up at the break against every other team, as DeMontro missing the layup as we come close to 1 minute remaining here in regulation. And there it is. Dolphins up by 33, and we'll put the finishing touches on this one. 3-point attempt by Medgar, no good. Dudonay with the rebound and the putback to cut the lead. $75-42 is our score. DeMontro drops off to Bracic. Bracic, layup, no good, gets her own rebound. Dolphins need to shoot. Callie for three, no good, front end. DeMontro, long rebound. And the Dolphins with no time to spare from game clock to shot clock. Shot clock is off. Dolphins will hold. Our final score will be 75-44.
Yeah, and that's good news for the CSI Dolphins. They jumped up early in this one, led by 18 after the first quarter, and never really looked back, Dave.
So our final score, 75-44, as the Dolphins will hang on to win this one by 33 points after a 16-6 fourth quarter. So, Mike, the Dolphins, we knew they were big favorites on paper. They lived up to it tonight. Not their finest day by any stretch, but coming off of a big win last night, they follow up with a rousing win here, and the Dolphins will take this one their 10th of the season, as we will welcome Christina Passaturo to the Sportsnet table. Hi, Christina.
Hi.
So, Christina, you know, on paper, you guys were big favorites. You know, maybe not your finest evening tonight, but the bottom line is you were able to get off to a really hot start early and ride this one out.
Yeah, you know, we played 3 games in 4 days, so anytime you do that, it's going to be tough regardless of who the competition is. But it's most important we got the win. Some nights we're going to be cold, some are going to be hot, but as long as we come out on top, it's all right.
Absolutely, and Christina, you know, it's hard to imagine with the team, you know, winning 10 straight games that you'd still be in such a heated race for the regular season title. But Lehman won earlier tonight as well, so you still keep pace. Now, your final 3 games of the season, these got to be 3 huge games for you guys on the schedule.
Yeah, these are absolutely must-win games. You know, if we win out, we secure the 1 seed, and they're tough competition. We know what we're up against. A few teams added a few players, but we're going to prepare, and hopefully we come out on top. But regardless, we're coming into the playoffs ready to go.
All right, Christina, so some much-needed rest for you guys as you guys get ready for Hunter. Great game tonight, and congratulations on 10 straight for the team.
Thank you.
All right, you got it. That's Christina Passaturo, junior point guard here for the Dolphins, and shooting guard, I should say, for the Dolphins, enjoying a tremendous season for CSI. And Mike, you know, again, like we mentioned to Christina, probably not the best night for any of the Dolphins tonight. But you know what? Against teams like Medgar Evers, you got to find ways to get it done. Dolphins got it done tonight.
Yeah, you know, the Dolphins did plenty enough to put this game out of doubt really right in the first quarter, Dave. And, you know, like you said, not their best game, but the kind of game that you would expect when the team is playing their second game in 2 nights and their third game in 4 days.
All right, Mike, so that'll wrap up this one here from the Sports and Recreation Center. Once again, the final score, Staten Island 75, Medgar Evers 44. We're going to break this one down. We invite you back onto csidolphins.com/CSI Sportsnet. You'll see the live feed for the CSI men's game between the Dolphins and the Cougars. That's coming up next. Until then, I'm David Pizzuto for Mike Babuski and Mishak Alexander, wishing you a good night, and we'll see you in a few minutes for Game 2 of our CUNY doubleheader.